when I started listening to the Inquisitor podcast, but that gave me a perspective where, because funny enough, you sounded very similar to these big, scary CEOs I was speaking to in the UK, and I was thinking, he sounds identical. He's got this philosophy around how to actually question people to understand where they're at. And that was the point where I thought, you know what, actually, if you do move off the product, there's a big area here where you can have a conversation with somebody and get the information you will need to be able to qualify, disqualify someone.
Well, you will have heard this many times. In all of your dissatisfying relationships, the one constant is you. And if we don't learn that lesson very damn quick, we're going to find ourselves constantly pointing the finger of blame, making excuses, and not making progress. So help me understand this then. In practical terms, what were the frustrations that you were facing in your role? Was it pipeline, forecasting? I mean, you've already mentioned bioreaction, so that was clearly something.
But it's the sense of rejection. And if anyone's working in a boiler room environment, you can be facing rejection 3-4 times an hour. And if you're doing long hours in a day, I mean, that's a hell of a lot on an annual basis. Somebody saying no to you, and that I think was probably the thing. And that leads into the point, taking something that they're rejecting your product, right? As a salesman, if you're taking that emotion, they're not rejecting you as a person, they're rejecting whatever you're putting in front of them. So I think that was probably the part where I was thinking, I fundamentally can't take being told to piss off 3 to 5 times a day. Occasionally you get a yes, put a plaster on the issue, but most of the time it was that. And that's the point where I'm thinking, I'm not helping anybody here. The opposite.
People don't reject you, your proposition, your product. What they reject is the uncertainty. Unfortunately, in sales, we have a tendency to forget that buyers buy for their reasons, not ours, at their time of choosing, and anything that we do to try and create urgency then creates distrust. It creates uncertainty in their brain. The brain's default setting is the worst case scenario. So I'm guessing somewhere along the lines you had those moments where a warm or even hot buyer suddenly went cold. What did you do in order to learn and improve?
Well, I think at the early sales role, what people fundamentally don't do is take a step back and think, why is this person ghosting me? They came through our website, they've asked for information. What the hell are they doing? Where people go wrong, I think, is not probing into and actually thinking what on earth could be happening, self-reflecting and thinking, probably wasn't me, it's probably something going on in their life. Maybe they've got something internally that's going, it's just taking precedent over this. Maybe this was a priority 3 task. Which is the way that now I take, that 5 years of not doing that is an incredibly painful process where you're just constantly thinking people are mugging you off and that they're really not there. You just haven't asked them, is this really important for you? Nobody, you want to just nicely, let's get into the end of the sales cycle. Let's not offend anyone, make anyone feel uncomfortable. Fundamentally, you need to ask these questions, and there's an art to asking questions rather than just seeing them abrasive.